campers. We're going to be talking today about why we should not be sleeping around, why we should not be treating intimacy and sex with another person lightly as per divine law. So we're going to be talking from a spiritual context, from a meaning of life sort of a context. And this video is not for people who sleep around, who think that sex is nothing, that it's just for fun, that it's just sport. I'm not going to convince you. Okay, so just scroll. If you think that sex is nothing, it's not for you. This video is for those of you who know this on some level already. You are ready to receive this information. You've been feeling that there is something that you haven't been understanding properly when it comes to intimacy, when it comes to your body. So maybe you already are on some sort of a healing journey. Maybe you have been really recently noticing that a lot of your past relationships, whether that's longer term karmic relationships or casual relationships, they really drained you. They really take your energy. There is something within you, and maybe you need that final point to really understand why we shouldn't be doing this and what is the benefit to living in alignment with divine law when it comes to intimacy and when it comes to our sexuality. So before I give you 3 key reasons why we shouldn't be sleeping around, I want to mention to you that I am a channel for divine law, right? This is my mission. I am here. My mission on this earth is to restore divine order. So for people to live in alignment with the universal truth, with the truth of life, with the meaning of life, with why are we here, where we come from, where we're going, right? So I'm going to be giving you tips and rules and confirmations and clarifications that I've received in downloads as a channel when it comes to divine law. So what is it that the Most High, right, the energy source, God, however you want to call it, it's just labels, the place where we all come from and that we all carry within the universe, really wants us to live in alignment, right? In alignment with that divine law for our greatest good, right? In alignment with the meaning of life. So in alignment with divine law, on a generic level, we should only be having intimacy, physical intimacy, with someone that we are in union with, right? In spiritual union with. So this is something that I love to explain this, that religion twisted it a little bit, just like most things that religion twisted a little bit, that the ascended masters that came here that also wanted to teach us divine laws. We are now understanding, as per religion, union as something that you need to sign a document, or an actual priest needs to, bless your union. And in reality, it is not the case. What is enough to have a union is pure intention, right? And commitment, right? So when you are with someone and you are committing to this person, you have pure intentions to build a beautiful relationship with this person, to grow together, right? And to grow separately for your benefit and benefit of your union. And you fuse your bodies in intimacy. You're in union as per divine law. You need no documents, you need no ceremony. You're in union, right? Okay, so let's talk about the why. Let me give you 3 reasons why we should only be intimate with someone that we are in union with, in divine union with, and we're not supposed to be sleeping around. So reason number 1, a quite obvious one, you must have heard that, is that your body is your temple. Our body is our temple, okay? Our body is where our spirit lives. Our body is a sacred tool that we are given to experience this life. It is not to be disrespected, right? So part of being in alignment with your highest, most aligned timeline with divine law is to treat your body with utmost respect. And obviously it's going to have more it's going to have a plethora of things that you need to do in order to respect your body. It is how you nourish your body, is listening to your body, allowing your body to rest. It's not just the intimacy, but intimacy is a very important part of that, right? So when you truly have self-love, when you truly live in alignment with spiritual laws, when you truly understand that your body is your temple, and an extremely important element of being in spiritual alignment is having the mind and the body connection. Mind, soul, and body connection. They do not go separately. Your body is not just something that you can, push to its limit, or you can force it to do certain things that it doesn't really want to do. Your body is your ego, right? And the key problem of most people is that they're led by ego, led by the physical body, because they're disconnected from their soul. So they're disconnected from the belief, the only truth belief, that we are souls living human experience. So it should be the soul that rules. It should be the soul that leads the way, and the body is just a tool. But they should forever be connected, because the soul cannot experience this life without the body, but the body without the spirit, cutting the spirit, the soul part, away from it, it really only exists on a very shallow shadow level. Okay? So when you are truly connected to your soul, I wouldn't have to explain this to you, because once you're connected to your soul, once you do the shadow work, once your mind-body connection is really strong, you start to understand that your body is a temple. Your body is a tool that your soul received to go through the beautiful experience of life and the lessons of life, and putting it down to a level of shallow pleasures, like eating crap, like connecting with random people and having random intimacy with these people, or even spending time with, low vibrational people, low vibrational activities, is not good for your body, right? So this is the first thing. When we truly understand mind, soul, body connection, when we truly understand that our body is our temple, a temple that we should love, a temple that we should cherish, a temple that we should treat like the biggest, most beautiful, most precious, most amazing possession, because it's true, that is our most beautiful, most precious possession that we have in this physical world, our body, our existence. We should really be very selective towards everything, okay? Towards everything. So that's point number one. Point number two is, and they're going to link a little bit, right? Point number two is intimacy is sacral energy exchange. And I recently done a video about energy cords. So if you want to know more about that, you could go ahead and watch that video. But specifically in context of intimacy, when you are intimate with someone, okay, even if it's just one time, you exchange your sacral energy, okay, your sacral energies, and you create a very powerful cord, energetic thread between the two of you. And through this cord, you stay connected to this person because it's so powerful. In a cord video, I explained to you that any kind of interaction with someone create an energy cord with this person. But when you're being intimate, when your sacral spaces, energy spaces, your room, your hara touch, they exchange and create energy and create this bond, okay? And in that energy exchange, you also naturally exchange everything that is being stored in your sacral space. So if you maybe are familiar with what your sacral chakra, what your sacral energy point is responsible for, this is where your trauma is stored. This is where your authenticity is and resides. This is where your self-worth to receive, to be granted things in this world, right? This is what blocks most people from abundance, from moving forward, from reaching highest, most aligned timeline. Why? Because it's full of gunk. Why? Because most people do treat sex lightly, do sleep around. And every time you are with another person, you are collecting every trauma, every wound, every point of low self-esteem. And obviously someone who sleeps around has low point of self-esteem, and we're going to talk about this in a moment, because I don't mean just sleeping around. You're someone who like literally every weekend you go to a party, but we're talking here about sleeping with anyone who is not your partner, your counterpart, who you've chosen to be with as a partner, right? So you exchange energy with this person, okay? You exchange their trauma, and through this exchange of trauma, of sacral energy, creating that cord, you also creating karma with this person. You stay bound to each other, you stay connected to each other. So if you are doing this randomly, if you are doing this a lot, if you are doing this with someone who is not really committing to your soul, mind, and body, going back to the first point, right? Because in true union, someone commits to your soul, to your mind, to your body. If that is not existent, they only want to be intimate with you. So they only stay on a level of the body, on the level of the physical plane, right? You are completely disconnected from spirit, right, in this experience. So the reason it is so dangerous when it comes to, you know, spiritual aspect, and people don't realize that, is that you are creating that bond with someone and you carry it around. People think that, you know, if you have a random experience with someone, one night stand, or you just dated someone for a few weeks or months and then you walk away, it's done deal. It's not done deal. You carry around their energy until it's properly cleansed. And we're going to talk about how we cleanse it properly. But until it's properly cleansed, you carry it around. So every next person that you sleep with, you give this person not just your energy, but all the energy that you've accumulated. Okay, so when we really talk about people who sleep around every now and then, every few weeks, every month, you go and you do it with a random person, between all these people, they creating bonds between each other. They exchanging energetical frequency of their traumas, right? This is why people who do this, they constantly stay on a low vibration. They constantly stay below the heart level. And we're going to talk about this now, because this is reason number 3 why we shouldn't be doing this. Because it is literally impossible to maintain high vibration if you sleep around, if you treat sex casually. So whoever says that they're spiritual, okay, whoever ever tells you that, oh, I'm spiritual, but then they have random casual sex, or they just know someone and maybe they're dating, but they're not in union. This is this, where's Sewell, this is going kind of situation, or oh, we're just friends, but we're occasionally. They have no idea about spirituality. They're not spiritual, okay? Because true spiritual person who went on it through a journey of spiritual awareness, spiritual awakening, shadow work, healing, inner work, we understand, okay, that in order to maintain high vibration, we need to raise our energy above the level of the heart. So what does it mean? If you have chakra system, if you're familiar with a chakra system, we have 3 chakras that are physical chakras, bottom chakras. They're more associated with the masculine energy, because the masculine energy within us is responsible for the physical existence, for the physical realm, right? Side note, this is why what I'm talking about is a little bit more challenging for men, but absolutely doable. So you have your root chakra, you have your sacral chakra, and you have your solar plexus. And then you have your heart chakra, which is the bridge, and it connects you to the upper chakras that are spiritual chakras, right? Your throat, your third eye, and your crown. When you are spiritual, when you're truly connected in, when you understand the meaning of life, when you follow the path of alignment, what you have to continuously be doing is to raise your vibration. Someone who is not able to raise their vibration from the physical chakras to the level of the heart, which is the bridge between the realms, cannot call themselves spiritual. You are staying on the level of the matrix. You are staying on the level of the physical world. So if you truly want to elevate your existence, if you want to be spiritual, if you want to connect to the divine, to your purpose, to your mission, to the meaning of life, you have to, through the bridge of the heart, raise your energy to the level of the heart, minimum to the level of the heart, right? So what does it mean? It means that when your energy rises to the level of the heart, and when you go through journey of spirituality, for journey of healing, it will happen. It will happen sooner or later. This is why I tell you that spiritual people, healed people, we don't sleep around. It's not even an effort. We're like, ugh, right? So why? Because we have risen our energy to the level of the heart. Once that energy is on the level of the heart, all your lower chakras are connected to the level of the heart, and through that heart are connected to the divine. So you become a merge with physical existence and spiritual existence, right? You understand that your existence is both. So you completely release the shallow things that solely relates to the physical, okay? Everything that you do, you want to raise it to the level of the heart. You want to make it tantric. You want to make a ritual. You want to put love into it. It's not just sex. It's not just having a meal. It's not just, going to sleep and resting. It's not just relaxing and partying. Everything becomes a ritual because you're coming from a place of love. You're coming from a place of gratitude for your existence, for this experience of life. So when your energy is fully anchored in the level of your heart, you are incapable of being intimate with someone that you do not have loving feeling towards. Okay? So for some of us, it's going to be soulmate, it's going to be twin soul connection. But some people, they will still connect maybe to karmic partners. Sooner or later, if you truly walk the path of spirituality, you're going to have to release all the karmic partners. But even if on some level you're still connected to that positive, karmic partner that you decided to be with, it's always on the level of commitment, of union, of a relationship. It's never just random, right? It's never just random. So extremely important. Now let's talk about, okay, you've stumbled upon this video, you've watched this, everything resonates, but you have been having some experiences in the past. How the hell do I cleanse this? How the hell do I cleanse my sacral energy? So let's talk about that. There are two ways that you can cleanse this energy. Well, actually three. I'm going to add like a bonus but the third one doesn't exist without those two first ones. So let's start with these. Number one, how you cleanse this energy. And this is non-negotiable. This is non-negotiable. Okay? Celibacy. You cleanse your sacral space through celibacy. Why? Because this is how you raise your vibration. Whenever you feel the urge, whenever you feel the need, whenever you feel like, oh my God, I have to be intimate with someone, when you say no to yourself, and this goes especially to men and especially to the masculine energy within, you're creating loyalty and commitment towards self, towards your existence, towards your spirit, towards your body. You're saying no to just being submissive to the urges of the physical, shallow plane of existence. You're saying, no, I have the need. How about I raise this energy to the level of my heart through self-exercises, through meditation, through self-pleasure as well. You can do this. You can train yourself to raise this energy. You have the need. Fine, pleasure yourself, but as you do that, don't leave it at the level of the physical body. Raise it above. Feel the love. Feel the love towards life. Feel the love towards your physical body. Feel the love towards your existence, towards the universe. Feel the love towards a person. If you're connected to someone who's your soulmate, your twin soul, but you cannot be with this person at this moment of time, raise this energy. Don't just be submissive to your urges. Okay, so that's number one. This is how the first thing that we embark on a journey of celibacy, right? And through time and through celibacy and our sacral chakra is cleansed naturally, right? So how long this celibacy should last, it's going to depend on your past experiences. So if you are someone, it is from 4 to 12 months, right? So 4 to 12 months that you need to really cleanse your sacral space. How long actually? Well, if you I'm going to start from the longest period of time. So when the 1 year is needed. 1 year is needed if you have been in an actual relationship with someone that you know it was your karmic relationship. Okay, so you've been in a relationship with someone that you've been living with and interacting with and sleeping with, maybe an ex-partner, ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, ex-spouse, right? And it wasn't the nicest relationship. You've ended this relationship. It was a quite nasty relationship, right? And now you want to move forward. You want to heal from this relationship. So in cases like that, 1 year is recommended because you're very strongly connected to this person through, threads of love, through threads of, sacral energy, through threads of just simply being with each other, spending time with each other, you've been committed to this person, right? So that's something that requires like this really 1 year of cleansing, of healing. When you are someone that you just been having fun, okay, and sleeping around, so you're someone that you've maybe every couple of weeks or every couple of months you go out on a date, on a party, on Tinder, you meet someone, you either have one night stands or you just date someone for like 1 to 2 times, then you sleep with them and then you move forth, right? That kind of energy would require 6 months of celibacy minimum. You will know in your heart when you're done, when you're ready, but minimum 6 months of celibacy to clear your space from the energy and the gunk accumulated from all the other people that you've been with. Now, in the lightest case, let's say you haven't really been sleeping around that much, but let's say in the last year or two, let's say in the last year, you've been with 1 or 2 people, right? In a moment of weakness, you were feeling very lonely, whatever your journey is, you went to a party or you engaged in like these ridiculous Tinder, applications and stuff like that. You met someone and you've done it with this person, okay? It wasn't that much. It wasn't really intentional. It was a moment of weakness. You shouldn't, have done that. You sort of maybe immediately even had regrets, but it happened. It happened like once or twice in the past year from you watching this video. And if you really want to change and you want to start today, 4 months, especially if you add a little bit of shadow work to that, it's enough. It's enough. So again, as I explained, from 4 to 12 months. Next thing that you need to consider when you truly want to cleanse is to close karma with these people, right? So again, if it's going to be a karmic relationship that you've been at, it's going to be a little bit more complicated. I recently done a lot of videos about this, so you can go to my TikTok and you can watch that. But if it's just been situations that I've described, so you've been sleeping around and maybe you went out with someone, moment of weakness, right? Just in your intention, you can do this in your intention, you can do this in meditation, because obviously those kind of situations, they cause harm. Our soul wants connection, our soul knows what's right, and our soul is in there. So However you want to tell yourself that, oh, it was nothing, we knew it would be casual, we both consented, it was casual, it always causes harm and it always creates negative karma. So just in your heart, you can just close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, put your hands on your heart and just say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I caused you pain because of my petty need to feel a little bit of love and to connect to another human being. I'm sorry. I regret that. I forgive myself. I ask for your apology. I forgive myself for interfering with your energy. And this is kind of a this is sort of a how you let that go and you release that karma if this was a random person. And the third way, if you want to clear your energy, this is the method that I told you that doesn't exist with the previous two ones. But if you want additional help, if you really feel like you want something extra, right, that you feel like it's weighing you down, you can just go for a session with a shamanic healer, with an energy healer who will be able to cleanse your chakra, cleanse your sacral deeply, cut unnecessary negative cords that you have with these people that are connected directly to your sacral, right? So that's something that is very beneficial. If you do only that and then you don't embark on a celibacy, it's not going to do you any help. But if you really, some people really, we have those moments of realization, oh my God, what I've been doing, oh my God, what I've been doing, right? And you may have that more immediate need to do that. And the last thing that I want to mention before we close is that one thing you have to remember: what today's world and society tells us, that sex is nothing, that sex is just sport, that men need, especially about men, right? Because it's patriarchy, because we live in a patriarchal world that kills off feminine energy even within men. So I've heard this nonsense all around, that men need sex, that it's a physical need, that without sex they cannot go on, that they can even develop like dysfunction and diseases. And bullshit, okay? Bullshit. Why the system that we live in tells us this bullshit? Why they wanting to keep us stuck in the shallow level? Because we live in a patriarchal, distorted matrix where they wanting us to disconnect from the level of the heart, to disconnect from self, to stay below the level of the heart. Why? Well, very simple. Because the moment you awakened, the moment you connect to your heart, to your higher self, to your inner guru, to your intuition within, the moment you connect to Father Universe, to the truth of life, through the journey of spirituality, through the journey of awakening, through the journey of healing, you need no external guidance. You know what is right. You want to become sovereign. You don't want to be servant of the system. You don't want to be servant of the society. Become sovereign. You understand that life is to feel joy, to feel true pleasure, to connect to God, to connect to the universe, to connect to your soulmates, to live through beautiful experiences, to really thrive. You start to understand that. You look beyond the veil, right? And when you look beyond the veil, you cannot be controlled. You become truly sovereign. Most people are controlled and they don't even know it, because we're controlled through conditioning, social conditioning, religious conditioning, family conditioning, cultural conditioning, the matrix. The moment you see beyond the veil, there's no turning around. The moment you start your healing journey, you're going to start raising your energy to the level of the heart. And I've done a whole episode about this. I have this series on YouTube, Divine Feminine Masterclass, and in one of these episodes, I can't remember which one, but I think it was actually the Divine Masculine, but I've explained this to you that the system that we live in, the matrix system that we live in, patriarchal system that we live in, they are anti-union. Because true union, true divine union between soulmates and twin souls is the union between divine feminine and divine masculine. This is what we should be creating when it comes to relationship as per divine order. It's what I explained to you guys in the beginning. We should not be sleeping around. We should not be having random relationships. We should not be in a relationship, intimate relationship, committed relationship with anyone who isn't our counterparts. So for most people, it's going to be a soulmate. For very few of us, it's going to be a twin soul. But other than that, we should not be connecting with anyone. But why? They're trying to convince us that it's fine, that it's okay, that you need this. It's just a physical necessity. It's just like going to the bathroom. It's disgusting. It's not true. It's not true. In the act of intimacy, when you feel the pleasure, you release, to some extent, you release your energy body and your physical body, and you allow the spirit to touch. How on earth do you want to do this with someone who is not your soul connection and say it's fine? It's not fine. It's an illusion that they're wanting you to create, to always stay below the level of the heart, because the more gunk you accumulate in your sacral, the more trauma, your own, of other people, you're accumulating and you're exchanging. Sacral, point is the worst point for most people. Again, our authenticity, our self-worth, our self-love, our sensuality, our sovereignty, it's what lives there. It's the biggest problem for most people, because they come into interactions with people that they're not supposed to. It is not okay. It is not fine. Not to even mention, don't get me started, but not to even mention that whenever I see people saying, oh, but it's necessary, but I have the need, I have the physical need. What are you, a dog? What are you, an animal? You have a physical need? Even some animals don't act like that. We're supposed to be a little bit above. What do you mean a physical need? I have a physical need to punch someone. I don't just go ahead and do that. The only physical need that we have is to sleep, is to eat, and go to the bathroom. That's it. Everything else, it's your ego and the system telling you that you have to do certain things, but you don't. You don't. Raise above that. If you've watched this video and up to until this point, I really challenge you to raise above that. If it's something that you struggle with, I invite you to sign up for a session with me. We can do some shadow work. We can look into your karmic contracts. We can look into your sacral. But no, it is not something that you have to do. It is not something that benefits you. It is not something that releases you. And it's especially dangerous for men, because us women, we're naturally always connected to our heart and to the divine through the portal of the womb, right? We have that benefit with the body that we're given. But men don't, right? Men connect with God to that sacral energy through us, through women, through divine feminines, right? But how it looks like right now, I don't want to make this video like 3 hours long, because if I'm going to get started talking about the misogyny and how women were like put as servants to give the breadcrumbs of that connection to the divine to men, I'm not going to stop, right? But if you're interested and you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I'll be happy to, do a continuation. But for today, just know that it's a lie. It's a lie designed to disconnect us from tantric experiences of life, from experiences that don't come without love, don't come without depths. And it's not just about intimacy. It's basically everything we do. Career, connections, relationships, our relationship with self. It shouldn't be anything but tantric. It shouldn't be anything that doesn't come with love and depths and spirituality. So I hope this was really helpful. If you were on the fence, if you needed confirmation, I truly, truly hope that I swayed you. Even if I swayed just one person, my life's mission is complete, because it's an incredible life changer. And I promise you, I'm going to promise you right now, if you decide to embark on this journey of celibacy, even if it's just like those 6 months, right? When you're not sleeping with anyone because there was no one, right? But you're consciously, I am going to be on a journey of celibacy. I'm going to respect my body. I'm not going to connect, even like kissing, touching, nothing with anyone who is not worthy of my energy, who is not a true soul connection. I embark on a journey of cleanse. I embark on a journey of celibacy. And if to that you will add a little bit of shadow work, a little bit of maybe sacral cleanse, even if you don't want to go on a shamanic session, you can do a weekly meditation. You can do some music that cleanse your sacral. You can do some hearts music. You can do some sound baths as you go to sleep. I promise you, after 6 months, you will not go back to what was. You will want nothing but true soul connection, because you will deeply connect to self. And if you add to that pleasure in yourself, as I explained to you before, so really connecting to your spirit, really connecting really connecting to your body, making it a ritual, making it a really nice daytime, but with yourself, I promise you, you will never go back. And it will be the best thing on your healing journey that you have ever done. And you will never lack love, because random sex with someone does not give you love. It is breadcrumbs of anything. Okay, it's an illusion. It's a shallow illusion that causes you more pain, more heaviness, and more karma than it's worth it. You will be transformed. I promise this to you today. I'm going to stop rambling because this video was 30-minute long. If you need more explanation, I invite you to leave questions, like, follow, share as well, or sign up on a session with me. We can go in depth specifically in your case, in this situation, how to really embark on this 6 months journey of sacral cleanse. It just came to my mind, maybe I should create like a program. I'll think about this. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. I love you so incredibly much. I am wishing you an amazing day, and I will see you soon.